if you've been following Slasher U, you know that once a coach is fired, we cover it, we talk about it, we break it down, we talk about some potential people who will fill the role, and then we, move on. We see what talk about. Maybe they can put a band-aid on their season. Well, this week, Steve, all teams that had a coach fired at some point this season won, with the exception of Colorado because they had a bye week. So four
Well,
teams,
that's a win.
right? That's a win. Yeah, it's not a loss. It's not a loss, right? So, and in Colorado's mind, that is a win because they don't have any wins. So let them take a win where they can. Nebraska beats Rutgers on a wild game. But the crazy thing about that football game is that they won it by 1 point. What was something that Scott Frost could do or couldn't do? Win close football games. They do it against Rutgers. 3 games after Scott Frost is out of here. Wisconsin absolutely blows out Northwestern as Jim Leonard makes his appearance as the interim head coach. Makes you wonder if they're going to have him stick around. There's a possibility if he keeps having wins like that. Like I said, I feel like if Jim Leonard can take this team, there's a possibility that he sticks around. Arizona State beats ranked Washington with a walk-on freshman at quarterback. I think that's the most impressive. I'm glad that it's finally starting to get some coverage around college football with the media because, I mean, come on now. I mean, they have a communication department that is like the best in the nation. We know that half the people from ESPN came from Arizona State. Start talking about them. Help your program build back up. That's how it happens. That's we build the culture. You have a perfect prime platform to do it. Do it. Georgia Tech beats Duke in overtime. We made a joke last week, and I sent it to you on Twitter on Saturday in our messages. I said, hey, you remember that one time where I said that Georgia Tech was going to just run through the gauntlet after beating Pitt, and then they're going to beat Duke? Then all of a sudden they're going to be tied for the lead in the ACC Coastal? Well, guess what just happened, Steve? They won in overtime. Now, I'm not saying we need to pay attention to Georgia Tech, but we can't write them off anymore. They've looked pretty good the last 2 weeks. And then Colorado, like you said, didn't play. My thoughts here is, what does this tell you? Does this new getting rid of the coaches in the middle of the season, which we thought at one point in time was they're giving up on their season, it's just time to put the Band-Aid on, move forward, tell your boosters that, hey, we're going to be on the search, stick with us. Well, now they're winning some football games, and some in pretty decent fashion.
I think it speaks a lot to the character of the players on all of those teams. They've responded. For whatever reason, bad coaching, bad game plans, whatever, however you want to point it, they haven't played well. But suddenly, I mean, Georgia Tech suddenly is on a 2-game winning streak. And when you watch them play, I didn't think it was just coaching. I think it was common knowledge that Collins was a bad coach. I don't know. And then you referred to Wisconsin. That made me sit up. I was a little under the weather, so I wasn't as intensely watching college football games as I generally are on Saturday. So those of you that follow me on Twitter kind of got a break, so I wasn't totally inundating you, at least not until the UTSA Western Kentucky game. But you come up with a win like that, that's telling your boosters, that's telling your AD and your fan base, no, we are good. We are still perhaps the best team in the Big Ten West. So don't, okay, we got it. We got it. Just give us a chance. So again, I think it's more of a tribute to the players. Arizona State, I dare someone. In fact, they should publish it because it's only going to be about 4 or 5 people that actually bet Arizona State. And I mean, unless you're a complete degenerate gambler who spends twice what you win on games on getting inside information about games, nobody had that one. I like UW. I mean, are they the best team in the Pac-12? No, but they're really a good football team.
Right.
Wow, it's just amazing. So, I mean, salute to all of those teams, and to Colorado too, because hey, you gave your fans a break. I mean, well, I know that sounds mean,
Hey,
but
that's a win. We said it's a
right.
win.
Okay, right. So in essence, there's still a little cloud, a little fog there. The fog is going to start to lift, and maybe as it lifts in your next game, maybe you're going to not necessarily win. Maybe you're going to be in it. Maybe you're going to make it competitive for the first time all year.
Yeah, they have an opportunity to do that as they host Cal this week. Cal hasn't been the best team this year, so there could be an opportunity to get their first win. Could happen. I'm not going to hold my breath over it. Steve, if I told you that we're in the middle of the season and Georgia Tech and UConn had a winning streak, a 2-game winning streak at that, and Oklahoma had a 3-game losing streak, would you believe me if I told you that at the beginning of this offseason?
Absolutely not.
Well, that's where we're at right now. Absolutely wild. What a year so far. And we're only about halfway through. Insane. Insane. It really makes you wonder what's going to happen with the rest of these years, or the rest of this team. Do you see any of these teams make a bowl? Really, what I'm pointing at is Wisconsin and Georgia Tech. I think those are the only two that have a really opportunity. Nebraska's a really long shot. Don't see it happen with Arizona State or Colorado, obviously. But what about Wisconsin or Georgia Tech? Could you say that? See them getting the 6 wins?
I do see Wisconsin getting the 6 wins. I do, and I think they proved that regardless of how the coaching situation flushes out, that they're a good enough football team that they deserve a bowl. Again, they're going to be a New Year's Day 6 bowl, no, but they're going to be playing in a bowl game. Their
And
fan base
that's a
travels
victory.
well. Yeah, I mean their fan base travels well. Obviously entices sponsors of all these bowl games. Georgia Tech, okay, maybe they should be Missouri Tech because I want you to show me again that this is legitimate. I just want to do one quick thing about Nebraska. Are they a bowl team? No. You talked about that was the thing about Nebraska. They can never win the close games. They can never win those 1 point games. You
Mm-hmm.
can't win them until you actually do it. So now, hopefully, the first thing that the coaching staff said in practice was no more excuses, no more, oh, well, we were close or whatever it is. You proved you can win close games. Let's do it again next week and then the week after that. So it'll be interesting to see if Nebraska gains a little bit of traction, down the stretch. Are they going to get to 6 wins? No, probably not. But I think it's important to point out, okay, now they have done it. So there are no more excuses. Let's see what they do with it down the road.
They got to face Purdue next. That's a really tough challenge, especially how Purdue has looked in the last few weeks. Another Big Ten West showdown.